The story begins with a vivid introduction of the janitor, a hard-working man named Marcus, who had spent years quietly cleaning the halls and offices of a prestigious corporate building owned by a billionaire businessman, Mr. Harrington. Despite the long hours, low pay, and little recognition, Marcus carried himself with dignity, fueled by the love he had for his daughter Aaliyah. She was a bright, curious teenager with a passion for books and languages, often staying up late at night studying online resources and library texts. One morning, while Marcus worked diligently in the lobby, Mr. Harrington entered with a group of international investors. They were speaking in a foreign language, and the billionaire grew visibly frustrated as his hired translator failed to capture the nuance of the conversation. He noticed Marcus cleaning nearby and made a dismissive remark, half in jest, half in arrogance. "If your daughter can translate this, I'll double your pay." His tone was patronizing, assuming the janitor's child couldn't possibly meet such an intellectual challenge. What Mr. Harrington didn't know was that Aaliyah had been teaching herself multiple languages for years. She had always dreamed of working in international relations, inspired by her desire to break barriers and create opportunities her father never had. That evening, when Marcus returned home and shared the billionaire's words, Aaliyah insisted on coming to the office. The next day, Marcus hesitated, worried it would humiliate them further if she failed. But her determination convinced him. The next day, Mr. Harrington, still amused by his own challenge, allowed Aaliyah to sit in. The investors began speaking rapidly in their native tongue. To everyone's shock, Aaliyah not only translated accurately but also conveyed the cultural subtext and nuances that the professional translator had missed. The investors were impressed, nodding enthusiastically, and even paused to commend her fluency. Mr. Harrington's expression shifted from mockery to disbelief, then to reluctant admiration. He realized he had underestimated Marcus and his daughter, who embodied intelligence, discipline, and resilience. From that moment, the story deepens into a reflection on class, race, and opportunity. Marcus's colleagues, who had once overlooked him, began to treat him with newfound respect. Mr. Harrington, true to his word, doubled Marcus's pay, but Aaliyah's brilliance also opened unexpected doors. One of the investors offered to connect her with a scholarship program that funded the education of talented students in linguistics and diplomacy. The scene captures Marcus's pride, not only because of his daughter's skill, but because her success validated all the sacrifices he had made working late nights, enduring disrespect, and holding on to hope. As the story progresses, readers see Aaliyah's path unfold. She wins a scholarship, begins higher education, and later interns at an international organization. Throughout her journey, she never forgets the moment when her father's worth was questioned and how she turned the tables with her voice. The billionaire, once arrogant, develops a new sense of humility and often shares the anecdote as a lesson about hidden potential, that greatness is not confined to titles, wealth, or status, but often lies quietly in the overlooked corners of society. The narrative closes with Marcus sitting in the same office building years later, no longer just a janitor, but now retired, visiting Aaliyah as she prepares for a global summit. He reflects on how a casual remark meant to belittle had become the spark that changed both of their lives. The story ends on a poignant note, emphasizing themes of perseverance, dignity, the unshakable bond between a father and daughter who dared to prove the world wrong.